What it is, what it do. You already know who it is. It's your boy, back with another DDLC mod for the channel. I'm revisiting an old favorite of mine, Doki Relapse. The reason why is because on a recent comment on my last post on the DDLC subreddit, I played the most hated mod on the DDLC subreddit. Someone said, this isn't Relapse. And I want to play through Relapse to see if it's as good as I remember it to be. So, if you guys are interested in seeing me doing this, be sure to stick around, because I think we'll be in for a fun old time. I mean, after all, this was the runner-up for Best Sayori mod, and Best Emotional mod for 2018, so I'm like, it can't be that bad, right? I gently opened the door. Sayori, ah! I shoot her from the bed, drenched in cold sweat. What the fuck? That dream. Sayori. It felt so real. She wouldn't do that. Not my Sayori. Oh, she's your Sayori now? Oh, okay. She just wouldn't. I think back to what she told me yesterday. She said she was depressed. And that scream after I... Oh, so he turned her down. So not my Sayori, but you turned down her confession. Wait, what was it I did? My head begins to blur as I try to think back to yesterday's events. Why can't I remember? It was only a day ago. I ask my ceiling this, but get no reply. I glance at the clock on my nightstand. 4 a.m. I'll say 4 o'clock in the morning. I try to think more about the nightmare that woke me, but my head feels foggy and I begin to have trouble keeping my eyes open. As I begin lying back down, I realize something. Tuesday? Why does my alarm clock say Tuesday? As I drift off, I figure it's just because of the way I slap wildly at it in the morning. Probably just hit a button. And now we are awoken by our alarm clock. I love that smack. It sounds like he's smacking skin, not a plastic alarm clock. I begin my morning routine by slapping the shit out of my alarm clock. Sorry, buddy. You know it's out of love. I say it insincerely. I climb out of my bed and feel my shirt sticking to my sides. Oh, we've been there. Gross. I need a shower. I make my way into the bathroom as I try to peel my shirt off. I love this music, by the way. Ugh, why won't it come off? After finally forcing it off and getting undressed, I hop in the shower and begin my lather, rinse, and repeat routine. It's a nice little reference to the shampoo bottles. Once I'm clean as a whistle, I step out and begin to make myself look presentable. Today is festival day after all. Actually, today's Tuesday. I just hope I don't suck too bad at presenting my poem. The idea of presenting in front of a crowd does make me a bit uneasy, but I could also use it as a way to impress Natsuki. So we decided to go down the Natsuki route this time. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry about that. That was those pesky robot collars. You guys know how it is. That was rude. Anyway, not like I really need to. It's clear after what happened yesterday she's into me. Oh yeah, how we almost kissed Natsuki. And I can't help but smile as I say this. Oh, and I can't forget Sayori. I promised her that I'd spend the festival with her. I would gladly give up Natsuki time if it means making Sayori feel better, especially after yesterday. My mind starts to drift back to last night. If my memories are foggy then, they're damn near crystalline now. Like they happened only a few hours ago. Why is that? That's a great question. I shrug off the thought as I start brushing my teeth. After finishing up, I head to the kitchen and whip up some breakfast before I leave. Making pancakes. Oh, Oh, I forgot about this. A nice Adventure Time reference. Baking pancakes, that's what I want to make. Baking pancakes, baking pancakes. I see this to myself as I open a pack of Pop-Tarts. Munch, 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 munch. I lean against the kitchen table, thinking about the festival once I finish devouring the delectable pastries. Ah, yes. I haven't had a Pop-Tart in a long time, though, but those things are pretty good. I wonder what the weather is supposed to be today. Natsuko would be pissed if it rains. Because she wouldn't want to walk in the rain, in the rain, in the rain, until I'll walk. Alright. I whip out my phone and pull up the weather app. Sweet, the weather for Tuesday is clear and sunny. Wait, Tuesday? Damn it, why is my weather app set to Tuesday? First my alarm clock, and now my phone? I refresh the app a few times to no avail. A light bulb suddenly flicks on in my head. Oh, no. Did I slip through Monday? Did I miss the festival? But how's it even possible? Was I drugged? I knew her tea tasted funny. He's talking about Yuri. I open the calendar app and try to ease my confusion. It proceeds to do the opposite. The 4th? The festival was on the 10th, wasn't it? I rummage in my bag until I find the school's calendar of events. Festival. Aha! Shit! Shit! December 10th. I stand at the kitchen table in a confused stupor. Maybe they all met next Monday. Still, that means I slept through all of yesterday. And why would me and Natsuki make cupcakes a week in advance? Oh! The cupcakes! I slide over to the oven where we set them yesterday, but no cupcakes are present. Maybe she broke in and took them while I was comatose? That doesn't sound like something Natsuki would do. At this point, I begin to lose my shit slightly. I forgot how much cursing there was in this mod. Did I really sleep through a whole day? Was last week all just a dream? Well, yes and no. There's a reason why all this is happening. If that was all a dream, I really need to stop watching harem anime. No, that's impossible. There's no way I'm gonna stop watching harem anime. Oh, and I guess my situation's pretty fucked too. Do I normally swear this off? That's what I'm saying. I was like, you've been swearing like a sailor, my G. Do I normally swear this often? I disregard the thought. It's getting close to the time to leave. Maybe talking to the others will help me clear things up. I don't know. I think they might only add to the confusion. I head out the door and begin making my way toward the school. I would think Vice President Sayori would already be there if today was really the day of the festival. That is until... Hey! Oh, hey! Hey! That sounds familiar. I see Sayori running toward me, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That looks familiar. Ah, Sayori, my neighbor and friend since we were children. Wait, why am I explaining this to myself? I overslept again. Hearing that pains me a little. But I caught you this time. Sorry. Had I known you were still at home, I would have waited. Huh? That's alright. I know we don't talk much anymore, and I wouldn't want to make you late. Don't talk much? We've talked pretty much every day for a week. Sure, we drifted apart before, but I really felt like we were reconnecting. But that's just like you, Killen. Always looking out for other people. I know that after that exchange yesterday, she couldn't be further from the truth. She seems so down here recently, so why is she so upbeat now? Is it because of the festival? Oh! Hey, sorry, I got a question. Sure. What is it, Killen? What day is the school festival? The festival? It's next Monday. Why? Wait. You weren't thinking about joining a club, were you? She asked me like that's a bad thing. Meanwhile, I fall deeper into confusion. Like I said earlier, you think it'll clear things up, but only add to the confusion. Join a club?
You totally should. You totally should. If you started to socialize more, I wouldn't worry about you becoming a NEET.
How does Sayori know what NEET means? More importantly, what the hell is going on? She seems to notice my face scrunch as the thoughts overwhelm my physical body.
Are you okay?
No, I am not. Sure I am. I was just thinking about clubs to join.
Well, if you can't decide, I know a great club that could use some more members.
Let me guess. The literature club?
Lucky guess.
What is happening? All of this is so familiar. Is Sayori just messing with me? Did I not join her club? Wait a minute. All these things happening again. It being the same day? Oh shit! I get it now! It's so obvious! I'm a time-traveling wizard! I'm a time wizard! It just goes to show that I'm very familiar with this mod. This is awesome! Wait, why did it only go back 1 week? And do I lose my memories of being a wizard whenever I travel back in time? Do I have the ability now, or do I Killin'! I immediately realized I'm standing still on the sidewalk, staring at a bench. Sorry, Sayori. I was just zoning out a bit. I'm trying to play it off, but I admit it's pretty hard to act like nothing has happened. She can't be allowed to know my power. You underestimate my power!
You're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
Don't worry. I don't intend to take away your title of Zone Out Master anytime soon.
Hey, that's Zone Out Queen to you, mister.
Sorry, milady. Please forgive me. I bow my head and hold up my cupped hands to her.
I will show you mercy, just this once. You may rise.
You both start laughing as I straighten up. Time wizard or not, Sayori is still my best friend. I won't let her be sad. Not anymore. No matter what. No matter the cost. We begin getting close to the school, and I realize that there aren't that many students around us. I guess we took longer to get here than last time. We arrive at the entrance to say our goodbyes as we part ways. Well, it's going pretty well so far. I would say so far this mod is living up to exactly what I remembered it to be. And if nobody really knows, this is basically a Sayori. Sayori is basically the main focus of this mod. So, as I said earlier, but just so everyone's clear, the school day is as boring as ever. These mortals have no idea what is among them. That aside, I have considered alternate explanations for what has happened. Though Time Wizard does seem like the most logical. Maybe Sayori just has amnesia or something? No, that wouldn't work either. Amnesia wouldn't mess up my calendar and alarm clock. And it's hard to tell from the school day if things are the same due to how little attention I pay to it. I need to be sure. I go to the literature club. Ah, I've got it. To put my space-time knowledge to the test, I wait patiently after the final bell. I should know what's coming. Sure enough, after a few minutes, I hear Sayori walk up to me from the door.
Hello.
Ah, I was expecting you. Nani? Damn. Maybe I should just let it play out the same as last time. Oh well, won't hurt to have some fun with it.
What?
I proceed to put my finger to my temple to close my eyes. I'm having a vision. I can see the future. I see you coming to invite me to some sort of gathering. It appears to be a club of sorts. I'm also getting a strong sense of literature coming from this club. Now I see you. It appears as though you're bribing me with something. Sweet. As I open my eyes, I see Sayori blinking with astonishment.
How did you know?
Oh, foolish mortal. For you have no clue of the power that resides in this mortal body. Puny mortals can be so cute. We may not have talked much recently, but I still know you pretty well. So well, in fact, it looks like I've become immune to your routine.
Meanie.
I can't help but join in on her giggling.
But Killin, how I get you to join the club now without my routine?
I watch as she ponders over this for a moment. Well, you never told me what kind of sweets you had. Cupcakes?
Cupcakes.
I stand so fast on my chair that the wind crate almost blows out the windows. Luckily, Sayori had a firm stance. That's it. I give in. My soul is yours to command. You have recognized my only weakness. You truly are a worthy adversary. I proceed to kneel in front of her until she starts laughing.
It's been a long time since I've seen you like this, Killin.
From what I remember of last week, I was kinda dull. Where was my personality? My charisma? Oh, the Dan Salvato and Team Salvato didn't give you one because all you were was just a vehicle for us to explore the world that we are currently residing in. That's why you had no personality. I'm pretty surprised anyone even bothered talking to me. Well, that's because everyone was forced to talk to you. Because again, you're the vehicle which we were interacting with the world around us. Still, I did manage to make Natsuki like me. But if she liked the old me, she'll love the new me. Well, will she? Or she'll hate me. This thought would bother a normal man, but a normal man I am not. Well, Sayori, I guess you have that effect on me. Is she blushing? Quick, don't let it turn awkward. We should probably get going. I wouldn't want to make us late on my first day.
Right. I'll lead the way.
Aw, it's adorable. And thus marks the day I pledge my eternal allegiance to a cinnamon bun. Ah, yes, and the cinnamon bun trope lives on. Granted, this was made back in 2018, so that was coming to the peak of the cinnamon bun era. She leads me to the club room door upstairs. This is it. Time to see if I'm insane or not. Sorry, full of energy, damn near rips the door off the hinges.
Everyone, the new member is here.
Hail right, hail right, hail right. Everybody's going down on a Friday night somewhere. In America, there's a bottle to burn and a fire to light. You ain't did something if you didn't halfway. If you're gonna raise hell, then you better damn raise hell right, hell right, hell right. I proudly march into the room.
Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, please. The pleasure is all mine. I say this in a gentlemanly voice while bowing slightly.
Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Damn. Should have thought something witty to say to Natsuki. Probably would have just made her mad.
Ah, Killin, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
All words escaped me in this situation last time, but I've come prepared.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
My apologies. It's just that pretty girls are a weakness of mine. Second one in the cupcakes. Natsuki and Yuri are both caught off guard by my compliment. Monica, however, just seems confused.
Ugh. You didn't tell us your friend was a weirdo.
Well, what did you expect? I am Sayori's friend, after all. I had my arms around Sayori's shoulder and pulled her close while flashing my biggest smile.
What's that supposed to mean? Meanie.
And Monica's like, what the heck is going on? This is how it's supposed to go down. Success! Success! It looks like I managed to put a smile on all the girls' faces. Well, except Monica, who's looking at me like I'm the world's hardest Sudoku puzzle. Excuse me, Sayori, but it appears I haven't been properly introduced to these ladies yet.
Oh, right. Killin, this is Natsuki and Yuri. Natsuki and Yuri, this is Killin. Natsuki's the one who made cupcakes. She's always full of energy. And Yuri is the genius of the club.
Don't say things like that.
Timid Yuri. Some things never get old. I wonder if time wizards get old. I should do some research. Oh, and I should probably say something. Well, it's been a pleasure making your acquaintances.
Big words, huh? What are you compensating for?
Natsuki, please try to show some decency.
Natsuki's insults. Some things... Wait, I already thought that line.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
Yep, hard to forget the person who outshines you in literally everything. Everything except time travel, hopefully. I was hoping my compliment would have some effect, but it seems that Sudoku puzzle on my face is a real bitch. Monica's like, I don't get it. Who is this guy?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Kellen.
Did Monica develop a stutter? Probably just my confidence got her real hot and bothered. Probably a stutter. You too, Monica. It's strange to think that I was so intimidated by her last time. I mean, she's only human, after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human, I make mistakes. I'm only human, it's all it takes. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me.
Come sit down, Kellen. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's wide, so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabbed a wrapped tray, and Yuri opens the closet. I have the urge to sit next to Monica as a power play, but I won't want Sayori to think I'm ditching her. I take a seat next to her while trying to think of other ways I could display dominance. just stand in the power pose, but you have your arms to the side, puff out your chest. Or jump on top of the desk and default dance. I'm pondering this when suddenly... Ta-da!
Ooh, whoa!
That voice crack though.
Whoa!
Natsuki lifts the tray to reveal lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Even though I'm sitting down, my wheeze got unique at the sight of them. I hope my drooling isn't noticeable.
So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
As I go to grab a cupcake, me and Sayori's hands crash into each other. As far as I know, I'm the only human on Earth who could keep up with her lightning-fast food reflexes. She's like a culinary ninja. We shoot each other an old Western-style glance before grabbing our own cupcakes. She knows I'm a worthy challenger. It's like, wah wah wah, wah wah wah. As I turn my attention to my cupcakes, I hear Sayori devouring hers. Oh, nom 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 nom.
So good. Sugoi.
I could feel the presence of icing on her face from here. Normally I would eat at the same pace as her too, but self-control in public is a good skill to have. Though I do wonder, do I need to eat? Can time wizards die of starvation? Am I taking this time wizard thing too far? I think you are. Nah. My theory of wizardry has succeeded in every test so far. The girls, the club room, the cupcake. Oh shit, I should eat this now. Natsuki's probably watching me. Munch.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I forgot that was a thing. My man iDubbbz. I hope that none of these girls get that reference. The hope is lost. I see a grin creep on Natsuki's face.
You fucking gay?
Sayori.
Natsuki!
This girl, she will be my wife. My descendants will see her as a goddess. It's like in Sword Art Online Abridged when Kaiba was talking to Kirito, when Kirito got the Tron reference, and Kaiba was like, "Wait, you get my references?" I snapped into my trance and I realized that Sarah and Yuri's reaction. Luckily, Monica doesn't seem to be paying attention. Monica's just wondering what the heck is going on. If Sayori and Yuri were confused before, they're bewildered now. At least Natsuki is enjoying herself.
I'm so sorry, Kellen. I don't know.
It's okay, Sayori. It's just a reference. It's just a formality. It kind of goes along with the thing I said. If anything, it's my fault.
Huh? But...
This exchange seems to have broken Sayori.
Sorry, machine broke.
Natsuki, you shouldn't use language like that in a club room. It's rude and disrespectful.
Well, sorry if my word wasn't big enough to meet your standards.
It's not.
Don't worry about it, Yuri. I kind of had it coming. And don't worry, I don't think any less of you or of the club. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
The opposite?
Yeah, it's good to see you all like this. Kind of reminds me of a family, you know? Maybe not a great family, but still a family.
A family, you say? I see.
Yuri begins to pull a Sayori as she tries to comprehend what just happened.
Oh, I almost forgot the tea.
Ah, this is lovely. I'm having a great time. What about you guys? Are you guys having a great time? Hit the like button if you're having a great time. Well, that was interesting. As Yuri passes out the tea, the awkwardness from the previous conversation begins to clear up. Sayori becomes less broken, Yuri relaxes more, and Natsuki returns to her tough demeanor. Everything looks good. Well, except for Monica. Except Monica. She's barely spoken. It didn't even scold Sayori after she dropped an F-bomb. I remember her telling me she wasn't good at talking to people, but still. She should have at least been a little shocked. Maybe she's got something on her mind that didn't come up last time. I'll try speaking to her at some point, maybe ease some of my disruptiveness. I proceed to turn my attention to Yuri while almost praying that I haven't fucked up too badly. So, Yuri, you keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission.
Well, I'm glad. Nothing helps me enjoy a good book like a hot cup of tea.
Is that so?
Her face begins to take a shade of crimson I've never seen before. Gotcha! It's like, nice Porsche! Nice Porsche! Gotcha, bitch!
I'm glad to hear that. I feel the same way.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away. Well, whatever she's trying to do, it's working. I flash a big smile to Yuri and Monica. Monica looks kind of flustered, maybe? Or pissed. It's hard to tell with her. Anyhow, this here is a literature club. So let's say we get to the brass tacks. What kind of books, literature do you like to read?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. Ah, yes, the traces the rim of the teacup with her finger trope. I'll admit, I was kind of excited for this moment. He's like, yes. Let's see her describe the book she likes, the effect horror could have on your mind. Seeing her confidence fills me with determination. Little bro, are you watching this, little bro?
What about you, Killen? What type of books do you enjoy? What type of literature do you enjoy?
I was just gonna wing this part of the conversation, but yeah, she asked, my brain is suddenly overwhelmed. Knowledge from all kinds of books and literature fill my thoughts. Is this from the future? I can see the future. That makes no sense though. Oh well, I'm not gonna complain. Actually, I like to read all kinds of things. Novels, poetry, manga. That one's for you, Natsuki. But on the subject of horror and psychology, I really enjoyed Thomas Harris's Hannibal Lecter series and the way he puts you in the mind of psychopaths. Oh, and the way Stephen King books are so descriptive you can have nightmares about things you've never actually seen. All 4 girls look shocked. Thank you, random knowledge from nowhere. Big ups to you.
I had no idea you were so well versed in literature, Killin. Sayori never mentioned it.
I didn't know you read. What gives? I didn't know you read. What gives?
Well, I suppose I adopted an appreciation for it at some point. Sorry I didn't mention it earlier. More like, sorry I didn't know either. Maybe if we spend time together again, you'll learn more about me.
Yeah, maybe.
That blush makes my heart skip a beat. I never seen Sayori embarrassed like this. My protective instincts begin to flare up. I will protect her at all costs. Protect Sayori at all costs. Though, how I do that is still unclear. While Sayori is zoned out, I turn to Monica. She still hasn't said much. So, Monica, if memory serves me correctly, you were the captain of the debate club last year. What made you decide to start a literature club?
Well, you know.
The silence after that, lasts longer than I remember. Monica's like, why are you asking me? You already know everything.
To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs.
She goes on to explain why she started the club, and I can't help but feel that her smile is unnatural. Like she's trying hard to maintain it. Is she mad at becoming a dominating force of wit and charm? Or maybe she's jealous? I haven't gotten her much attention since I haven't really said anything. And now that she's talking, I'm not paying attention. I remember someone said this before, and I'll say it again here. I really like the fact that in certain parts where there's like long stretches of vanilla dialogue, they replace the vanilla dialogue with the MC's thoughts while the vanilla dialogue is occurring. So you still get to have that interaction in the mod, but in a way that's unique and different to people who already have a lot of experience with the base game. And I have to give Relapse a lot of credit for doing that. And if more mods like did that kind of thing in going forward, if they wanted to incorporate vanilla dialogue, I think that would make people not want to hate the mod for having vanilla dialogue in it as much. Though what I've seen recently is that people are branching off into their own stories and not relying on the base game so much. So I guess that's kind of a moot point now. But still, I want to give credit to Relapse for doing this. Shit.
Monica really is a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. I bet. I just feel bad for all the schmucks who are missing out on this awesome club. Although, I bet being small like this makes events like the festival that much more important. Monica thinks about what I said for a moment.
You're absolutely right. And I'm confident we can only really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah.
We'll do our best.
You know it.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Talking about the club seems to make everyone ease up some. This club really does mean a lot to her. Hell, to all of them. So, I know you do reading in here, but do you also do any writing?
Wow, we've never done it as a group, but Sayori and I have written some poems. Oh, and Natsuki wrote one too. I believe it was called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine.
Monica pulls out a piece of scrap paper, which is quickly snatched by Natsuki.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori siles up behind Natsuki, wraps her arms around her.
I'm not cute!
I'd beg to differ. Yeah, boy. Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Eh? Well, yes, sometimes. What's it to you? Why do you care?
I think that's hella hard, homie. Word up. Natsuki begins to look at me with a mix of confusion and annoyance.
Ugh, when do you find these weirdos, Sayori? What he's trying to say is he thinks that's impressive. Isn't that right, Killin?
Word. Word up.
Well, he should be impressed. My poems are pretty amazing.
If that's the case, why don't you share them sometime?
No.
She quickly averts her eyes. That demeanor fled quickly, and I have a creepy suspicion that I know why. You're not very confident in your writing, are you?
You wouldn't like them.
Why not? You strike me as someone who could say a lot with a little. I actually find writing like that to be especially powerful. Natsuki looks at me with wide eyes. She's like, how did you know?
How did you...
I understand how Natsuki feels.
Natsuki's like, wait, how the hell do you know that?
I understand how Natsuki feels.
Damn it! He's like, just as I was about to get in there, I was getting it in. Yuri had to jump in and ruin it. Could your timing be any worse, Yuri? She was practically putty in my palms. Ugh. Oh well, I suppose I still have plenty of time to work my magic on these girls. Charisma magic, not my time magic. Although I guess I sort of already did use that.
Maybe if you share some of your work, you could set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
Ooh. I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Aw, I want to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment, though I know Monica will break it soon. That is assuming that I haven't derailed her too much.
Okay. I have an idea, everyone.
It's an RPG, boys. Story doesn't matter.
Oh. That's Donkey. It's a Donkey reference. Though I guess that's not entirely true. What these girls say is important. Oh, and this isn't some RPG either. Video game Donkey would beg to differ. While being a master of time and space is pretty neat, listening to conversation a second time is pretty boring. I would say something witty or charming, but I don't want to mess up and prevent the poem sharing activity. The butterfly effect could be a real pain. Especially if it involves Wendigos. I forgot. This mod is just... Oh yeah, I forgot. That's one thing people didn't like about this mod. It just shoves a bunch of references in there out of nowhere. Like, the Doki reference was out of nowhere. This Until Dawn reference was out of nowhere. Great to understand it because Until Dawn was a big thing around 2018. And I remember Until Dawn very vividly. Though I can't say the stakes are high for this situation either. Oh, aren't high. I feel my stomach turn as I recall the events of last week. Maybe me and Sayori could spend some time after the club meeting. Some time together after the club meeting.
Isn't that right, Kellen?
Monica smiles at me. Huh? Oh. You betcha. How could I not join a club with this many cool cats in it? I smile at all the girls. One by one, their eyes light up.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. I can actually get used to this. He's like, damn it, now's not the time to think like that. He's like, hey. I can actually get used to this.
I'm relieved to hear that you have decided to join.
If it really just came for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed.
Squidward's toenail.
Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club.
It's an honor to be here. Even though Monica's putting on a happy face, she still seems kind of off. Like she's frustrated about something. Damn, this girl might really hate me. She doesn't hate you. She's just wondering why you're acting so different. To be fair, I do keep zoning out and not listening to her. But hey, I've got a lot to think about. What was that quote from Uncle Ben? Something about rice? Oh, that's funny. Because Uncle Ben's ready rice, I get it. You subvert our expectations. Ah. Hey, Sayori. Oh, this is Sayori.
Hey, Kellen, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
Why, of course, m'lady. What kind of man do you think if I left a pretty girl like you to fend for herself? Sayori's face lights up at my comment. But before we go, I need to talk to Monica real quick about, my membership and stuff. Real smooth, Killing. It's a good thing she's still a little thrown off for my compliment.
Sure. I'll be waiting by the door.
As Sayori heads toward the front of the room, I make my way towards Monica. Hey, Monica.
Oh, hey, Kellen.
She's not even trying to smile at this point. I'm sorry if it caused any problems or messed up the flow of the club. It wasn't my... She stops me.
Can I ask you a question? I want to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Get what out of the way? Sure, go for it.
Kellen, do you watch anime?
The fuck? Did she just ask me if I... Say what?
Do you watch anime? Yes or no, I'll be fine.
Shit, what do I say? I don't want to let her know that I watch anime, but I also don't want to lie to her. If something does happen between us, she'll find out. She'll find out anyway. I should probably say no, definitely not. Well, I don't think this choice really matters. I would say no. Yes, I do actually. I'm sorry if you hate anime or something. I'm not sure how I expect her to react, but this isn't it. She asked like she already knew the answer, so why does she look so surprised?
Kellen, you know?
What's going on with her? She's looking at me like I just transformed into a lizard person. Shit, I didn't turn into a lizard person, did I? Am I Mark Zuckerberg?
Sorry, I don't dislike anime. I'm just glad you were honest.
Glad I was honest. Why is she blushing? Does she secretly love anime or something? The thought of Monica secretly being a weeb makes me smile. Well, of course. I wouldn't lie to my club president on the first day. Or any day. I wouldn't lie on any day. Me stumbling over my words seems to have improved her mood.
Well, honesty is important to have among club members, you know?
Yeah, you said it. And I'm glad we got to talk, Monica, but I probably should get going. I'd hate to leave Sayori hanging. That was an incredibly poor choice of words. What the fuck is wrong with me? I guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Wait, but I have a problem with that statement there. When you said, I hate to leave Sayori hanging, that was an incredibly poor choice of words. See, that makes sense to us because we know what happened. But he doesn't remember what happened last week. So if he doesn't remember what happened last week, when Sayori did hang herself, how would he know that saying he'd hate to leave Sayori hanging would be a poor choice of words if he doesn't remember what Sayori actually did? So, referentially wise, this makes sense, but context wise to the story, this doesn't make any sense for the main character to think about.
See you tomorrow, Kellen. I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that one. Getting suspended for 3 days isn't worth it. Not even for Monica. Well, maybe for Monica. Yeah. See how you express yourself? He's like, this is how I express myself. He just opens his fly. Well, that conversation with Monica could have gone better. Still, it doesn't seem like she totally hates me, so that's good. It certainly makes getting to know her easier. But I can't stop there. I just spend time with everyone. I'm sure getting close to the others can't be too hard, but what's the end game? Do I end up with all of them, or just do I end up with all of them and just look like a man slut? I don't know much about girls, but I don't think they'll take too kindly to sharing a boyfriend. Well, that depends. Some of them won't. Some of them might. Depends on the kind of guy you are. Depends on how much the other girls like each other. But in this instance, it's probably better to err on the side of caution and say they won't take too kindly to that. I'm sure there's a country song somewhere that describes that feeling. There is. The name escapes me at the moment, but there is. Whatever happens, I just have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Just like Bear Grylls said, say. I believe that's the motto for the Navy or the Marines, one of the two. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Now, what would Sensei do in this situation? Drink piss?
Killin?
What? I look around and realize I've walked halfway home with Sayori. Oof. Sorry, I must have zoned out.
You weren't thinking about Bear Grylls again, were you?
No. That's insane. I would never.
You're so predictable.
I like I like how that's the thing. Like, he's done it enough times in the past for her to know he's doing it now. Is that so? If I remember correctly, you've been the predictable one today.
That doesn't count.
Well, how about we both do something less predictable then? I hope that didn't sound suggestive. Don't worry, fam. This isn't gonna be tier 15 or anything.
Less predictable? Like what?
How about we go to a park? How about we go to the park? Just like old times, you know?
Yeah.
Seeing Sayori like that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but also a little guilty. Did spending time with me really make her this happy? I shudder a little as that scream goes through my head.
Are you okay, Killin?
Of course. Just excited is all. I'm glad that answer satisfied her. There's no way I could explain what I was actually feeling. On the way to the park, we both stop by our houses to change out of our uniforms. We meet back in front of Sayori's house and continue our walk to the park. We made small talk the entire way there. It's amazing how quickly you can reconnect with someone you haven't talked too much in a while. Though I do suppose I've had about a week's worth of practice on her. That is true. Alright, I think this episode's gone long enough. I'm gonna end things off here. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. References aside, I know people don't like a bunch of references shoved in, but especially if you don't get them. Like, I happen to know all these references so far, so it kind of makes me chuckle a bit. So, but let me know what you guys think about Relapse so far in the comment section, and let me know if you're looking forward to seeing the next installments of this mod. In any case, it's been real. It's been fun. It's your boy Jake Killen. Ciao for now.